Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC. We're going into game number 2, which is going to be Resolve versus Enclave. I mean, there's not much more to say about this other than Resolve are 8-0 right now.
Yeah, Resolve are 8-0. Enclave, fortunately, did actually get a win, and they looked pretty good, but it was only into an Envision side, which is, kind of struggling to find its own pace. It's always hard when we come into these pre-games with the Resolve games off late, because it almost feels like we're talking about the same thing over and over. We kind of know what we expect from Resolve, and it's more or less about how the other team is going to at least attempt to put up a fight. I still feel like on this Enclave side, I think Cleanser is probably the vocal point of this team. I feel like Cleanser has to be proactive. They have to give tools to him to actually make his mark on the game. And if he can, then Enclave can find, successful stints inside of games. But it's about then how they actually work off the back of what Cleanser's doing, I feel like. And they do have, loads of active members on this side too. Only Angel, when he's not getting 3-man, 4-man, like he was in the Demise game, is a real force to be reckoned with. And, I can be excited for the Enclave side, but it's just hard to be excited for the Enclave side when they're into the likes of this Resolve team, who are looking like they could just clean sweep the whole thing right now.
I would really like to see Resolve show us a more dominant game.
Yeah.
I mean, all of their games are obviously dominant, but I mean, a more decisive game.
Yeah.
Because
I get
a lot
what
of their games have just been, they get a grip on the game, and then they just squeeze the life out of the game until the Nexus pops, basically. And I feel like, Resolve probably are going to be one of the teams that we have representing the UKLC at the Telia Masters. I think versus some of the Telia teams, that playstyle might not cut it. You might need to show off some of your team fighting. And me and you actually have it in the pause in between this game and our interview in the last. We were talking about the differences between M&M and Resolve. And I was saying, I think M&M are the best team fighting team we got in the league, but Resolve are the best macro team. And I need to see like more decisive, more kind of control, like faster paced games from Resolve. And that's not me just wanting a quick game. That's me wanting to see them kind of show that not only are they just good at this macro, but they can translate that macro into advantages without it having to take 30 minutes to get there. Anyway, we are through picks and bans, or at least the ban phase. The first pick is going to be this Gragas for Enclave, and now it's over to Resolve, and looking like the Hecarim is going to be the pickup for Soft here.
Yeah, and I also honestly wouldn't be too surprised to see this followed up with something like a Rel or a Galio. I think it's honestly very much in theme with what Resolve have been drafting. The Kai'Sa is also up, so if they want to just blind the Kai'Sa, there's plenty of options for them to pair this Hecarim up with in terms of a composition where they want to dive forward. Resolve have been drafting these kind of compositions where they want to play like this, and it seems like that is what they're going to be doing. Enclave, of course, they did actually pick up the Gragas first pick, which is something we saw Artorias honestly tear M&M to shreds with yesterday. Yeah. I would personally like to see Enclave take away this Rel from Resolve, because I think Fastleg was actually also incremental in dissuading a lot of the engages coming out from M&M yesterday. And honestly, if Resolve are going to be running a team composition that wants to move into them, something like a Zarya Rel would do a really, really good job at holding these members together and sort of stopping them from picking on the targets that they want to pick on for free.
We'll see what they decide to lock in here. Things like the Alistair are still open as well, so if Fastleg wants to pick that up, that is always an option. As well as that Rel you were talking about. See what the lock-in is here. You could just go Zarya Rakan and just go full laning phase for Enclave, but I'm not sure if I really like the Rakan into what's already been picked up and what this is already starting to look like. So they're going to lock in their Lilia for the jungle, and now Resolve looking for something. Maybe they're going to lock in a support to go in with this Kai'Sa, get as comfortable lane as possible. And the hovering the Galio at the moment, I like the Galio because it's flexible between mid and support, so you don't actually show your hands. So gonna lock that in, and ultimately this could be mid lane Galio, this could be bot lane Galio, we don't know yet.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're probably gonna hold on to the flex. They know realistically that only Angels are likely to be piloting this Gragas in the top lane, and they can just lock in something relatively safe, something along the lines of the Gnar if they want to go down that kind of team fighting route. There's plenty of top laners still available, things like the Renekton, things like Aatrox. But Artorias has honestly lent on the tanks a lot, so we could just see something like the Malphite or the Ornn as well. So plenty of options for Artorias to still lock in. I think he's going to be honestly pretty comfortable, and it does make Enclave's life kind of harder. Now, I'm not necessarily sold per se on this Lilia pick like right now, but it does do really well into diving compositions. So, you know, it's still going to work fine in that sense. And of course, I assume they just didn't want to have their jungle pool pinched out, knowing that there's already been so many jungle bans put on the table. Enclave, they're going to remove away the Ornn, which I think is a good ban. Like we said, Artorias, he does lean on these tanks a lot. And with Enclave holding on to Gragas right now, we could just see another sort of like Malphite ban like what we saw yesterday in the second phase too.
All right, well, what are these final bans going to be for the side of Resolve? We're seeing for the moment, going to be the Rel. So there it is, going to get that denied. And over to Enclave now. Wanted to pick things that would just be okay into the Gragas, just neutral into the Gragas, maybe banning away. Trying to think who else there is really the top of
well, I mean, for the Gragas, I mean, you know, Aatrox is considered one of the sort of better side of the matchups. Renekton is sometimes considered actually kind of a weaker matchup into the Gragas, so kind of surprised. But that Rel ban says to me that honestly the Galio might be going bottom here, and we could just see Chimera or Artorias as lock-in, as opposed to the Galio actually being bot. So yeah, gonna see Gnar actually locked in. So like I said, Gnar honestly a safe pick for Artorias. Gonna be very happy piloting that one into Gragas, and it's up to Enclave now to really sort of round out their team composition. And Resolve, they want to move forward, so I want to see some picks that do really good at dealing with dive come out from Enclave. They've already got the Xayah, they've already got the Gragas and the Lilia, three champions that do really good at it. And we could actually see Gragas flex down to the bottom side with this Camille lock-in, which is going to be the case. Yeah, Camille actually slipped through, and this would be a really interesting way to round out the composition of Resolve. You kind of say, okay, we've got options to deal with dive, and then we can also play the side lanes. I'm actually a very big fan of this B4-5 from Enclave, but the issue is they have to execute on it, and they are going to be dealing with potentially Galio mid now that, you know, they have shown their hands, and it seems like that is going to be the case with this potential hover, looking at a support pickup here for Fastleg. So Resolve, they should have an answer in globals to this Destiny Gate inside of the heroic entrance, but it's going to be on execution for Enclave. I feel like they are going to have to try and get this Camille rolling in the early stages of the game, or they could potentially struggle, but they have set themselves up well to deal with the dive and play this 1-3-1 now.
What I really love about this this comp from Resolve and from Enclave is both of these teams just go, mid lane doesn't exist. We're just going to push waves, walk away, and go somewhere else. Like, that's a post 6. Mid lane is just irrelevant in this game. Let's see where that attention's going to go. I really like Resolve actually with their jungle mid synergy. Because normally Lilia is a real pain because she hits you and starts stacking the passive and starts just jumping around even faster. But Galio just comes in and taunts her, and then she can't move. So I do actually really like what Resolve locked in here as far as the kind of jungle mid synergy goes. So expect to see those two kind of moving around the map a lot. This top lane though, it's gonna be interesting. Artorias on the Gnar. Gnar typically being pretty dominant, especially over in the NLC. Seen a lot of Gnar recently. Mini Gnar just kind of has a bit of harass. It doesn't really do too much damage. It's all about the Mega, which has just been getting shadow buffed for ages. So kind of post 3, when that Mega Gnar starts to come through and you've got the full rotation of spells, how is this actually going to go into the likes of a Camille?
I mean, so Camille has traditionally been considered a bit of a counter into Gnar, just because she can obviously deal with the some of the mini poke, and then of course she has the nice gank setup, and naturally does outscale on the side lane. So I know top laners for an Eternity have always preferred running the Camille into the Gnar. Now, when we're talking about how strong the current version of Gnar is with the Mega buffs, and well, like you said, they've shadow buffed Mega Gnar for an Eternity as well. I'm not entirely sure at what point, you know, what the breaking point is for this Camille, right? Whether it's sort of like that first item, whether it's 2 items, because Gnar's build paths are also very versatile and he does so much damage now. So I think it is actually going to be more looking towards Sykes to move out to this top side and influence this matchup so that it's more Camille favored, get her gold accelerated, and then it's not going to matter at that point, because then Artorias isn't actually going to be able to hold Only Angel for that long.
Curious to see what Artorias goes, because I genuinely think the item Artorias decides could decide when Only Angel spikes himself. Because Stridebreaker is the one we see a lot of Gnar's pick up for team fighting. Also the Gore Drinker. We have seen things like the Divine Thunderer, which in the 1v1, the Divine Thunderer probably gives Gnar a little bit more time. But it's kind of like, where do Resolve want to go? Do they want to go for the solo laning and get Artorias the Divine Sunderer so you can just kind of chill in lane for a little bit longer, or they can go for the Gore Drink or the Stride Breaker. So it's all about jumping into that fight and just popping people. That's the real question here. And I genuinely don't know if there's a right or wrong answer as well. I don't feel like there's a, like, you should in this matchup build this. I genuinely think it's going to be a matter of, first of all, seeing the lane state and seeing how the rest of the game's going, or, you know, just seeing yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. You can go for that.
Yeah, no, I think though, sort of on theme with how Resolve have played for much of the split, they've played towards sort of slow paced games where they choke out their opponents, and then they will look for a heavy numbers advantage, or just outright they just flex their goal lead in a one singular team fight kind of scenario. So I wouldn't be too surprised to just see Artorias rock out the Stride Breaker or the Gore Drinker. I think going into the Divine Thunder would be honestly pretty ballsy into the Camille, who is known for the side lane presence. I think trying to match that side lane would be pretty scary, particularly if Enclave, I imagine they want to execute towards the top side. They want to send Sykes up there with that Destiny Gate. They want to lock down the Gnar in that Camille armor, and they want to take him down within the duration of that. And that will likely be Enclave's early game plan, whereas Resolve, that is a adorable dance on that skin, by the way.
I've
Resolve,
actually never seen that.
I know, right?
That's the one Galio skin I don't own.
Oh, really?
Actually, I don't own the Demon Galio either.
Oh, you're missing out. Demon Galio skin is...
Demon Galio is sick.
It's actually really good. Have you heard the voice lines for the skin?
I don't think I have. It's crazy. Galio is like my most played this season, but I've just been using Infernal Galio.
You need to drop some money, man.
You were in that NLC chat before the show last week. You've seen. I don't need to drop any money. I am far too far down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, Only Angel getting a nice little bit of poke onto Artorias. Actually used the Corrupting Pot. He's doing some solo scouting right now. So we'll spot out that Soft is going to be starting on this red buff and actually going to pop the sweeper. So Artorias, I believe, should be hitting level 2 off the first wave because of that wall takedown. So we'll have to keep our eyes on how that could potentially impact the top lane.
Depends how many minions he misses here. Should be in range of all of them. Okay.
Yeah.
He'll be fine.
Only Angel does have the hook shot, so he can take aggressive trades, but into the minion wave of Artorias, you're likely going to have to be losing HP as well.
Wow.
Very aggressive.
Fast leg. I mean, Yusa saves health, so ultimately, I think he's kind of okay. Saurus gets chunked as well.
No, it's a good trade. It's a good trade all around. It's just we came down and immediately it's like fast legs going in Zenith.
Biscuits and drinks in the bot lane.
Yeah. And, oh yeah, here you go. Artorias already hit that level 2 point. And the creeps look... No, Only Angel needs one more minion. He'll be level 6. 6, level 2. Couple minutes ahead there.
Get a little ahead of yourself, mate.
Yeah. Junglers. Self actually opting to skip out on his first Krog spawn, whereas Cleanser did not. So could see a little bit of a discrepancy there as things progress.
See an attempted hook shot on the top side. The wallop's not going to hit, and it's a bit of a farm fest, really. Everybody look. Okay, sorry. So you got to hit the cannons, mate. Oh my, that was painful.
No, but Only Angels.
Oh, that was so painful. You missed so much.
I mean, Only Angels missed a lot, though. Is the
true.
The important thing. Is he going to hit the cannon? Yes, he does. All right. W for the Enclave top laner.
I like this ward by Artorias. Yeah. Spots out Cleanser as well, the Scryers, so they have the information to work with. Soft knows he's going to be uncontested on his crab. May even look for an invade. I mean, there's no camps at the moment, but...
Still getting the information down. Now, I mean, Resolve should have basically information on where jungle camps are going to be spawning, because they see Cleanser. They see the amount of CS he has. They know that he's on the top side. So they all have a rough idea that the Raptor camp is spawning within the next couple of seconds. And there you go, the on-wave ping. I think Cleanser actually started on the Raptors, so they're going to spawn even sooner than normal. We'll see if Soft actually sticks around, though.
They're up, and he's going to get some chicken.
Yep.
Doesn't it, again, just like the last game, they're just swapping camps out here. Although, actually, we do see Cleanser not go for the Krugs. Is going to go for it now, as Soft's making a gank here in the mid lane.
Just
walks in and walks straight back out. As there was a contested, Cleanser actually doesn't get a single camp, and now he's getting collapsed onto by the Hecarim. Pony finds Deer. Soft's able to heal up fairly healthy here, and Cleanser not even going to bother.
Yeah, no. So I think Soft actually had a bit of an inkling that Cleanser could be up here. We'll see if he's just going to secure the Raptors for himself. Cleanser, in a way, kind of playing with fire, but he knows that he's likely not going to be jumped onto. In terms of lane priority, a little risky. But yeah, no, good from Artorias on the top side to just go and check the Krugs to see if they're up. And all in all, Soft going to be in a pretty big farm surplus. Those Krugs he is taking now aren't going to be the second rotation of Krugs, though. So it's not going to be a lot of XP, but he is still going to ding over level 5. Only Angel is taking a bunch of damage.
Yeah, he's about to get jumped onto. Tries to hook shot away, but Soft may just follow underneath the tower. And looking for the kill. It's first blood for Soft. And he's going to zoom back away to safety. No Cleanser as Sykes is getting jumped onto by Fastleg and Chimera. They get the Justice Punch off. Now Cleanser pops the Blast Cone, and this could just be one dead pony here. Cleanser going to get himself the kill. There's a kill in the mid lane as well. So it's 2 for 1 globally here in favor of Resolve.
Yeah, and I believe Fastleg, just coming off the back of a reset, seems like Yus has got items in his inventory, and so does Fastleg. So just opening back out into the map through the mid lane, picking on Sykes. So Sykes isn't going to have Flash, where Chimera still has his available. So that's going to be a very easy gank setup if he remains in the mid lane. And yeah, I mean, only Angel just sticking around a little too long. And Soft picks that one up for himself. Unfortunately, Soft recall, not sure if it was just slow or Cleanser makes it up here in time. Either way, the result is still the same. He does drop when the mid lane gank happens, of course, off our screens. And Resolve sitting pretty. Now, I was going to say, we saw what Soft did, I believe, earlier on in the week. Or perhaps it was last weekend, when he had this Hecarim pick and how far ahead he got, as he's going to be stealing away another Raptor camp from Cleanser. Being hard denied away, and honestly, he might be close to level 6 off the back of the Skull Crab.
The one good thing for Cleanser is he got that kill, so he got some experience there.
Yeah.
But yeah, good stuff. They're going to look towards the Dragon as well here. And Cloud's actually a really nice one for this team. When you got a Galio, I talk about this every time I see a Galio.
I feel like
he actually loves Cloud Soul.
Yeah, I feel like it's every Resolve game because they're always running compositions like this where ultimates are so important.
Yeah.
And we will often see Resolve pick up a majority of the objectives. So, the Angel.
Artorias might be in trouble here. He hasn't got enough to go snoo though, and Cleanser not going to find him. Artorias able to get away safely there. That was a little bit closer than maybe they wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But ultimately able to get away. There might be some plates lost here topside, but nothing else.
Topside action even drawing the global mid laners' attention towards the top side there, but Chimera able to keep Sykes in place. And also they had Sykes teleported to this play. I'm not sure how worth it would have been because look at the size of that minion wave.
Yeah, it's
a lot
pretty
of
small.
XP and gold to have dropped away, especially if you take into consideration some of the plates Chimera could have gone.
Well, just 300 gold, sorry, 200 gold separates these teams at the moment.
Yeah.
And a Drake. It looks like for now Resolve are playing it chill. He's going to get shoved in bot lane, a big wave, but Yusa's about to collect it, and that makes a lot of solo experience to Yusa as well. Got the Noon Quiver and got the dagger. I'm going to ask you something, Jamada. I don't think I'm going to get the opportunity. Fastleg is constantly roaming. Okay.
Yes.
I think we're chilling. Or are we?
I mean, he doesn't have Solar Flare available, but if Sykes keeps on hovering towards the bottom side of the lane...
Oh, he dead. He dead. The taunt...
Oh, he has plan?
Okay, don't worry.
Yeah, he's all right.
Zenith Blade needs to hit. Soft's going to take Rift Herald.
Yeah, there you go.
Anyway, what's your favorite class in school?
My favorite? Oh, random question. That's a good question. I actually so I didn't necessarily enjoy attending school that much, but I would say history because of my teacher, but the subject itself wasn't necessarily always like that, engaged.
Why were all history teachers such lads?
All history teachers are just cool, right?
Yeah, I don't know why. They teach the most boring subjects. I actually liked history, but it was still a boring subject at its core. Especially if you did it at GCSE level. It was
really
interesting.
History is cool because it teaches you a lot about why the world is the way it is.
Yeah.
Which is why I find it entertaining. I mean, my history teacher personally used to dance on tables and stuff. And I'm not even making that up.
He used to do what?
He used to dance on top of tables.
What kind of school did you go to school in Step Up? Whatever it's called.
Hey, that was a good film, actually.
They were good films. I think they've deteriorated massively in the more recent.
Well, the original one was good. I don't know about
Yeah, the original one was great.
But yeah, history. If not history, PE was cool because I was part of the athletic gang.
PE's not a lesson. It's not
But
really.
PE's not really. Yeah, PE.
It was sports.
Yeah. Like classroom lessons. Oh, science, bro. Like any science.
You know, that's correct. I didn't like science.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if it was the teachers or
Had to be the teachers.
Honestly, science was so dull. And like, I'm sure science is actually a very interesting subject, but I just had.
I mean, it depends because obviously science here. I mean, I suppose it's split into three in most countries, but obviously you have biology, chemistry, and physics. So
Yeah.
you know. Oh, hello, science.
Oh, flash. No solar flare faster. Can you land this NF blade? Yes, you can. The gold card gonna do a lot, but it's not gonna do much as the cast sends everybody packing. But Soft will secure the kill. That's just another one from Resolve.
Yeah, nice free kill. And I mean, honestly, I know we was talking a little off tangent there, but Resolve kind of just farming away for a little while. But this play is going to result in most likely taking down the mid lane tower with this Herald. Now, Sykes does have teleport, but he's still 14 seconds away from making here. And I see a lot of pings onto Artorias, but he's about to hit Mega. So that'll be a pretty tough gank to take. And it seems like Enclave agree. You can see the Herald going down. And man, Chimera is such a, well, he's a generous guy. He's giving us all the resources. I think we had Chimera on yesterday for the interview, and the reason why I'm giggling is because he said Soft just eats up everything.
Oh no!
Sorex though.
How did he get away from that? The taunt does hit.
Yeah.
I'm a little lost actually on how he got away from that one. The charge is going to get broken, and Impulse now coming in. Cleanser might just be looking for the swirl seed on the two fast-legged. Not going to pull the lilting lullabies. It was only one member who got tagged, and tower goes down. A lot of gold into Soft. I'd like to quickly actually take a toggle of the gold and see where we are right now, because woohoo, that is a big lead in the jungle.
Oh, here we go.
Only Angel is almost going down to Artorias, but will still be able to find himself the kill.
Yeah, so this is all we needed to see from Enclave, honestly, a couple of minutes earlier. I'm not sure how viable it was, because obviously we've had quite a few things going on. We've had Resolve obviously be on the top side to secure the Herald for themselves and whatnot, so it is definitely, you know, a little late considering, you know, we've now lost the mid lane tier 1 if you're Enclave. It definitely doesn't feel too great, but you are still, like we said, Enclave realistically, they wanted to play into this Camille lane with that Twisted Fate. It's why you picked the Camille Twisted Fate. It's why we saw it rise to prominence at the back end of last year in Korea. The combination is very oppressive. But executing a little slow. We'll have to see how much impact they can actually make picking up that kill onto Artorias. Like we said, only Angel for Enclave had to kind of be accelerated. Did pick up an assist prior. Didn't pick up that kill either. Yeah.
Good flash by Yusa there as Sorex gets chunked. Yusa not going to pull the trigger versus free. Unless he wants to just gift over free kills.
I mean, if we were seeing week 1 Yusa, then maybe. But
then maybe.
But yeah.
But we did have a very light pause, but now we can have a look at that fight.
Yeah, I don't know what Sorex was actually intending on doing here. It's very fortunate to honestly walk away with his life. Just Gragas being so obnoxious to kill, and Artorias stepping a bit too far forward, eats the hook shot, full combination. Once he's in that Hextech ultimatum, it's very easy to lock down for the Twisted Fate. Was very close to going down though, 1-for-1. But does manage to keep his life. Does now finally have that Triforce finished up. So for now, he's going to temporarily be a little stronger than Artorias. See the trading power will start to come in. But so the issue with the ranged versus melee matchups, if you are that melee champion, you go in with that hook shot, you have to walk out of the trade. You can have that damage returned back onto you. Doesn't always feel too good, and obviously the grass does heal up a little bit.
That was an odd trade to take there, Only Angel. Torres is just going to get the grass proc off. Might even get one last boulder top to the face. He's committing for the fight. The wallop under the wall. Here comes the Galio. And Torres is out of there.
All right, so I'm taking bets. How Resolve? What are we thinking? Like 29 minutes, 30 minutes today?
I said I want to see a more decisive game, and this is already starting to set up for it as a Cleanser.
Oh.
Predator was used by Chimera, but Cleanser playing some serious fire. 3 members in the area. Not going to go for the dive, though. They're not feeling it. So let's have a look at this fight once again.
it's just strange. There's not really much analysis going on. It's only Angel decides to go in when Artorias just dings Mega Knight. It's perplexing. Honestly, it's just perplexing. Kind of just gifting over his lead. Fortunately for him, Artorias hasn't actually finished up his core item, which I believe those are. I don't know the item components that he's got in his inventory actually.
Which one? Sorry.
He's got the attack speed AD item, which I actually don't know the name of.
The blue axe.
The blue axe.
I can't remember the name of.
Yeah.
Observer. Teacher.
Yes. Educate us as
Half-bound
axe. Well,
that's quite a wholesome name. Only Angel
someone
might be going back to the half any moment now as he is getting sprinted onto. Soft's going to find the kill, and now Sykes is going to have to jump away, but Artorias knocks him into the wall, and Soft cashes in on a double kill. Rift Herald spotting up as well. Ultimately, just beautiful execution from Resolve.
Yeah, people not bound for Earth, only Angel and Sykes back in the Death Chamber, and, well, Resolve, they're going to pick up the Herald on the backside of that. Got the remainder of Resolve pushing up in the mid lane, whilst Artorias obviously has that free time now on this tower. And Enclave, it's looking pretty bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Composition really needed the Twisted Fate and the Camille to get going. And they are the entirety of Enclave's deaths right now. So not really much going on in this replay.
Stripped of their topside jungle as well.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's not great. As we have the replay on our screen, obviously. Again, not much to talk about. It's just a very strange engage from Only Angel. Even draws Sykes' Destiny Gate up there.
Speaking of the Destiny Gate, it's been pulled here, but I mean, it's just the Destiny. They're not gating in anywhere. Sykes just playing the vision game there. Now, Rift out in pocket of Chimera. Sorry, Soft even. So, see what he decides to do with that one. Flash comes in, and oh no. He might put the pony to sleep. But ultimately, it's Cleanser who's getting cooked. Sykes comes in with the gold card, does connect onto Soft, but Yusa still free-firing away. Soft able to jump out for the moment. It's Only Angel is going to jump out. Here comes the ultimate from the Galio into the knock-up, into the shutdown. Is Yusa.
He's got flash.
Secures yet another kill. Chimera jumping forward. Blade's not going to connect, but the slows do connect from the boomerang. And here's the feathers. They're going to have to get pulled back, but a big taunt into the cleanse, into the kill. Chimera loses his life as the Void Seeker gold carded away. Yusa won't find the kill. But another boulder toss comes down, and Only Angel into all of this CC. Resolve are just walking over Enclave in that fight.
Does Only Angel just like being CC'd? I don't understand.
That was a bad ninja movie fight where they just throw themselves at the good guys over and over, one after the other.
It's like when a protagonist is just outnumbered, like 1 to 15 or something, and they just go in one by one. Cleanser just gets taken down by Fast Leg going forward. The Ignite does take him down, and Only Angel doesn't commit onto Soft, doesn't actually have the X-Tech or May available. And Enclave, they channel a little too hard into that choke there. Chimera gets stunned up by the gold card, but he's still got the Predator going, still has Flash, and despite actually Impulse flashing away, still gets clipped by that tool. And whilst they do pick up Chimera in response, Sykes is forced into that stopwatch. It's taken down by the... I actually don't know. What is the boulder in this skin? Is it like a little ice box?
It's a building.
Is it a building? Are you, isn't that Gentleman Gnar?
No, he throws Big Ben in Gentleman Gnar, and in this one he throws a building.
Oh, it's just a random building? Okay.
Yeah. It's like any building from a mobile game. Like any mobile game, like a Farmville style game, you build a tower.
Red brick, white roof.
Yeah, red brick, kind of yellow roof. Artorias might not get the chance to show us this. He's about to get free-manned. And you're saying to people like getting CC'd, looks like Artorias likes getting CC'd.
Well, you know, in this case, Artorias is just caught out weak side. But Only Angels seem to opt in to getting CC'd. As Chimera and Soft on this bottom side, immediately responding, taking down that bottom tier 1. They're going to have the Rift Herald to likely secure this second tower. And I mean, honestly, they can corral this in for a third charge, or a second charge.
Yeah, they might be able to find the second charge indeed here. As Cask's going to do a lot, but I think it's going to get popped by Sorex. Only Angel may find himself a tier 2 tower. Taurus spawning up in a couple of seconds. There is a Trinity Force on Only Angel, so actually doing a lot of damage there.
I've got to say, Lucid Boots on Only Angel is pretty audacious after some of the ways this man has died. I felt like Merc Treads might have, might have been a bit
You don't get it. If he has more hook shots to use, then he can dodge. So he doesn't get CC'd.
All right. You know, actually, he's working obviously with Tenacity. I'd imagine from actually Observer. Can we just get a look at from the Angel's runes? I hope he's running Tenacity. Okay, good lad. Good
Okay, cool, yeah.
All right. It makes it a little better, but it doesn't forego the point that he should probably have Merc Treads. That's okay. Seems like it's kind of slipped under the radar for us, but Resolve are actually 3 dragons up. Not that that's much of a surprise.
I mean, the third dragon was getting taken while Artorias died. So we were kind of focusing on that, and then dragon went down, and then I kind of forgot to talk about it, because apparently I actually do suck at my job.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Well, I'm glad you agree with me on that one, mate.
We have off days. No, we have off days. It's all right. You know. First day back in the office. Been taking a little break.
And the office being my bedroom.
Yes, the office being the bedroom, but nonetheless, breaking.
I'll say this much: it's definitely been a very interesting season. Well, the last 2 seasons, but it has definitely been the coziest season, where I'm just in PJs from the bottom down. You don't get to see what I'm wearing down here. I'm super cozy.
Yeah, honestly, same. Oh, Resolve. Look at that 20-minute Baron. Okay. I mean, honestly, Enclave likely can't respond without just giving up the game. We'll have to see. I mean, Resolve probably happy to have
Swirl Seek's been thrown out. Nobody's going to get hit as it collapses onto the wall. Artorias is about to gnaw out. This could be really hairy. Hookshot's looking for Artorias. They've got the gnaw. He gets the slam into the taunt, into the wallop, and Chimera secures the kill. Soft, it's a race car into the back line, and everybody knocked up by the heroic entrance. Betty by time won't do anything as Chimera comes in for the Protovel, in for the taunt, and the building slams into the Fat Man, and it is a 3 for none in favor of Resolve.
Yeah, and honestly, Resolve happy to start the Baron if it means that they finally get Enclave to walk into them with this gargantuan lead. And off the back of it, they will actually take the Baron down. It's going to be Baron buff in pocket for him. And honestly, I mean, this game, the tone of it has felt relatively done for a while, but feels like, whilst earlier I joked about a 29-30-minute game finish, Resolve, they're on pace for a little bit of a faster one. As Only Angel, I mean, again, yeah, much to talk about. But Soft comes in, as you say, race car in, fears Cleanser back into the middle of that heroic entrance. And whilst Sorex does take a little long to take down, he does go down to the taunt nonetheless. Artorias attempts to snipe that kill away with the building, but not quite going to be able to get that one for himself. And Artorias, honestly, has been fully an Only Angel with the Mega Gnar. We spoke about how it was going to be a matchup where I'm unsure whether V Camille can really deal with Mega Gnar often, and Only Angel, well, maybe not the best case study in giving me or giving us the answer, but certainly does look a little more favored to that Mega Gnar. And just saw the gold graph on our screen. Resolve honestly just pulling further and further ahead. Only Angel looked for something from Chimera there, but I mean, good luck, because Chimera's literally dancing away. He knows.
He's fine. He's fine. Destiny was used as well. As now it's Chimera's turn, flashing over the wall. Taunt's gonna land on the 2. Here's the charge. Here's the engage. Resolve just wipe 2 members of Enclave off the map. Moments before the dragon spawns. Jungler down. This could just be Ocean Soul, and actually Impulse has got Featherstorm, so Soft's not gonna flank.
Soft, I mean, honestly, knowing Sophie, he would have thought about it, but like you say, Featherstorm, both summoner spells, very hard dive to make happen. They're just gonna push down the mid lane with this Baron, and honestly, looking to crack open 2 inhibitors on this shove. They've got Galio in the bottom side, shoving up the wave. They've got a wave on its way, as he's just dancing in front of the base.
Oh, this is so tragic. Chimera's gonna be able to take that one down easily, and 2 inhibitor towers at least. Only Angel's doing his best to dissuade. Cleanser's back up on the map. Zenith Blade goes a little bit wide from fast leg. That might just be enough to send Resolve packing for now. I said I want to see a more decisive game from them, and they are delivering on that.
Yeah, they're certainly delivering on that promise. Now, Enclave, I get that Ocean Soul's a little oppressive, but I mean, honestly, this game's over. Just go for it, man.
They are looking for everything here. Sol actually gets belly bop, but the entrance is coming in from the Galio. Not going to hit onto anyone with a knock-up. But the moment Yusa's kiting on that sideline, as Sorex going a little bit low. Yusa not pulling the trigger. There's the slam back into the wall. Everybody's been put to sleep for the moment. Yusa still not fully in the fight, but it's already 2 kills picked up for Resolve. Only Angel gets jumped onto. The builder toss hits, and that will be the end of Sykes as he's proto-belted, but the Destiny won't go far. And in comes Yusa. That is 4 members down. Impulse, the only one standing. And with the wave crashing in, Ocean Soul might not even be necessary here to close this game out. 30-second death timers until Sykes and only Angel are alive. They've still got the Baron buff for a little bit longer. And it looks like Enclave have just given it over. This is going to be the game. This is going to be the most decisive game we've seen from Resolve all season long as well. As the Nexus is left open, and in under 25 minutes, Resolve are looking to close out this game. Slowly but surely, they're working the waves in. And a sub 25-minute win for Resolve.
Yeah, finally. It's got to be their fastest win of the split by probably a bit of a wide margin, in all honesty, as Resolve have been one of our slower teams, but slow and decisive this game, much faster with that same level of conciseness in their play. And honestly, Enclave didn't really have much of a leg to stand on from after like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I felt like that game was pretty over. Just kind of relying.
Yeah. It's weird because that's how it is with every Resolve game. It's just like they just couldn't play. The game was over. But like this time, Resolve went, oh yeah, we are really far ahead, and they closed it out in under 25 minutes. That was exactly what I wanted to see from Resolve. And you know, it's hard to look for improvement on a team that's constantly winning, but this feels like a big improvement from Resolve versus the other weeks where they don't just play a slow and steady game. They play decisive, they play fast, and they just shut down any chance of Enclave getting back into that game. Now, guys, we're going to throw to a quick break, and when we're back, we'll actually have Victorious for an interview. And Jamada is going to whip out some of his smart skills and start drawing on your screens again. See you in a second.
If you wanna find love, then you gotta have faith. The world is on your side. The world is on your side. If you wanna find love, then you got to have faith. The world will be your guide. The world will be your guide. No, I don't care. No one can tear you down. We'll lift you up. It's about here and now. You're gonna find love. Yeah, you're gonna be alright. Love like Bunny and Clyde. Love like right till we die. Down like thieves in the night. Love like Bunny and Clyde. Love like right till we die. Down like thieves in the night. If you wanna find love, then you gotta have faith. The world is on your side. The world is on your side. If you wanna find love, then you got to have faith. The world will be your guide. The world will be your guide. No, I don't care. No one can tear you down. We'll lift you up. It's about here and now. Yeah, you're gonna find love. Yeah, you're gonna be alright. Yeah, you're gonna be alright. Yeah, you're gonna be alright. where I wanna be. And I feel free for the first time. And I feel free for the first time. For the first time. For the
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the UKLC. We're coming off a very, very dominant game from Resolve and a very dominant win from them. I do believe, though, we actually have Artorias here ready for an interview. So, hello, Artorias. How are you, mate?
Not too bad. Pretty good after that game.
Yeah, I bet you feel great after that game. I was saying just after the game ended, but I actually felt like it was an improvement from Resolve. And it's very hard to track improvements in a team who just haven't lost a single game. And I think the key reason why was the pace of the game. Normally your games are a lot slower, very controlled, and it never feels like you're ever going to lose the games you win, but they've always been fairly lengthy games. This game, it just felt like you were a lot more decisive, a lot more kind of just snappy with that game. Has that been like a conscious decision? Is that something you've been working on, or is it just that game in particular, you just felt that you were so far ahead?
I think it has more to do with just, it's not something we worked on specifically, but when you fix your issues with things like how you control waves, how you get vision, these are sort of the problems that in the early stages, because you're not good at them, it slows down how fast you're able to punish other teams and make the plays you want. And now that we've sort of squared away the basics, it's just getting really easy to just take the wins quicker. Like this is probably for me, this was the easiest week. Like I've got all 3 games just considerably easier than the other weeks.
I mean, that game in particular looked pretty easy for you guys. I don't like using the word easy, but it definitely it was a lot. It just looked like you just had no competition in that game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think they made a couple of overforced plays, and from that point, the comp really needs to be even to make the plays on side. Once they can't do that, they're just locked out of the game.
Yeah, definitely one of the things we sort of highlighted as well, coming out from that Enclave draft. But I want to ask you, how high do you actually think the ceiling is for you guys, right? Because obviously, you've not really been tested too much throughout the split. Practically not all, bar day one, where obviously it's just first game of the day. Officials like that can happen. You know, how high do you actually reckon your ceiling is as a team? Do you think you can definitely make the run all the way through to that NLC through Telia?
I mean, I've not looked at all the Telia teams. It's one of those where until the teams are qualified, it's a wasted effort. You never know who's gonna win through playoffs. But that'll be the hardest. And I think it's doable, but that would be where the upset happens. If we make it through Telia and 2 NLC promotions, I think the bottom tier NLC teams shouldn't really give us a problem.
Okay, and
what about your brother?
What about
I mean, I said bottom tier, so
yeah. SNG doing pretty well for themselves right now, to be fair.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Pretty good. And I do want to ask, because it gets harder and harder to ask you guys questions weekly because you just keep on stumbling on teams. But
yeah, sorry about that.
It happens. But throughout all of the top laners that you've played through, now that you've gone through the first round robin, any of them that you feel like look a little bit promising, or you had actually gave you a bit of a hard time?
I mean, Rifty is still, I think I tweeted it the other day, he's still the best laning top I've ever played against. The amount of pressure he puts out is insane. And then all of the others, I have nothing really to say. It's not trying to be rude. They're just
no, of course.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, thank you very much for joining us, Artorias, and congratulations on your 9th win now in a row. So keep that up, I guess, and we'll speak to you soon, all right?
Yeah, no, hopefully. All right, take care.
See you later, mate.
See ya.
All right, Jamada. We are overrunning a little bit, so let's make it nice and quick. Start drawing, boy. Let's see what we got.
Start drawing, boy. Sound like Kratos, man. But yeah, honestly, Resolve at this point in the game, whilst the gold lead isn't actually the biggest we've seen at 20 minutes by any margin or by any sort of measurements, the state of the game is absolutely horrendous for Enclave, and they know if they can pull Enclave in to a fight like starting up the Baron, that they are just going to win. And honestly, I don't even feel like I need to do much drawing here. They bring Enclave in. They have Artorias here on the flank with that TP, who's got that Mega Gnar. And again, Only Angel, just donation work, I guess. Name of it. Diving into that Mega Gnar. And it's just a brilliant ultimate to keep everybody in this bounce house here from Soft. And all in all, it's just a whitewash. And Resolve, realistically, they knew they were far ahead, and all they really wanted to do was bring Enclave into a scenario where they could actually just turn and fight them.
Yeah, and 4 minutes later, the game was over.
Yeah.
That's about as much as we can add to that one. It was just, Resolve, like you're saying, it's getting harder to break down this team because they just aren't losing, and we're not seeing weaknesses from them. So I want to see some of these teams try and contest them. And one of the teams that we thought were capable of contesting them were M&M. Unfortunately, yesterday, not really the case, but M&M will be taking on Demise in our third game. So we're going to throw to a break, and when we're back, it will be Devil, not Devil, is there a Reaper versus a Marshmallow. See you in a sec.